Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Todd Berry Gospel Hour, spreading the Word of God through music and ministry.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Todd Berry Gospel Hour. I'm your host Judy Dallas, and we are excited tonight for our guest, Mr. Jim Bruce from Access Entertainment Group and the owner of independent record company Spotlight Records. Welcome, Jim.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us here.
My pleasure.
Now, we understand that you promote upcoming artists.
Yes, I've been doing that for 30 years as of last April.
Oh wow, 30 years.
Started in 1989. It was just an idea at that time. I wasn't sure I was going to do that. I was very active as a real estate and insurance broker for 24 years at that time. I'm now 73 next week.
Wow.
I decided that I really enjoy helping people be able to obtain some notoriety or hopefully a successful career in music. It was just by accident. I really enjoyed it, and it was once I got they say you get bitten by it, it's hard to walk away from it. And I didn't realize at the time what was all going to be involved, but the real enjoyment was helping these young people get started in the music business.
That is amazing. Well, tell us, how did you meet Todd Berry?
Todd, it was really sort of funny. He had been calling me for weeks, if not months, and he had was wanting to get my attention, be able to show off his talent to me because he knew that's what I do. And I get these calls every day, and it's hard thing to not help people, but then again, too many is too much.
Understandable.
So I told Todd, I said, actually my wife at that time, she said, Jim, please talk to this young man and see if you can't help him out. And again, I really wasn't wanting, I was plenty busy at the time, and he or she suggested that I at least talk to him, and I did. We made an appointment. I had him come over with his sound equipment and sing some songs for us while we were having a cookout in the backyard. And that was a lot of fun, and I was shocked. I was very amazed with his talent, and I knew I could help him. I knew that he needed help, and I wanted to give it a try, but I wasn't sure I could work it into the schedule. Eventually, my schedule became available, so to speak, and I talked to Todd, and we decided to make a deal. So I helped him out and get started, and we did a tremendous job of getting his first album done and promoting him all over the world. To the point where he was awarded, we got a notice that he was 52 in the world. Very impressive. And so we were pretty successful at what we did. And I'm sure Todd today still remembers that, and I'm sure that it's something he'll never forget.
Wow, that is amazing. It, not only in the U.S. but international,
worldwide. Yes,
that's
really
just
cool.
Beautiful. So the word is that you've helped a lot of people make their dreams a reality with their music careers, and someone that we spoke to even referred to you as an angel promoter. Tell us about that.
Well, obviously, I think the fact that I was financing their career at that point, I decided to jump in with both feet. I had the money to do it. I was willing to work really hard to get them as successful as I possibly could. And in every case, the ones I signed, that's what happened. So very, very successful. The first young lady that I worked with was a country singer by the name of Debbie Collins from the Columbus, Ohio at the time, and worked with her for 7 years. While she was on the road, she went on the road for 4 solid years, 50 weeks out of the year she was performing. A grandmother came to me and said, "We heard you've been very successful at doing what you do. Can you help my granddaughter?" She was 10 years old. Her name was Brandy Lynn Howard, and she was a beautiful child. And I was amazed also. I'm very picky, and of course of the successes and the ones I have signed, I unfortunately couldn't sign literally hundreds of acts.
Of course.
Just because it's got to be a special talent that they have, and I call it a complete package. They have to have the look, they have to have the talent, of course, and they have to have the desire, the drive to succeed in the business. If they don't have those three things, your chances today are very, very slim, even today. So it doesn't matter. She was 10 years old.
Wow.
A beautiful young lady, and I worked with her for a total of 7 years also.
Oh.
Yeah, and she was viewed all over the world, her music as well, and we were very successful even at her young age. By the time she was 14, she was performing in Las Vegas, so that was pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, do you prefer a certain music genre, or?
Not really. Actually, I've worked with just about all of them. But obviously, you're looking for that one that sells the easiest, the best, whatever. And country music seems to be the most popular in this area, and south of here as well. And at that time.
Right.
So country music was growing in the 80s and 90s. And I was there to help that along.
Yeah, well, country music is always growing because it's true.
Yeah, it is.
Most of the time, it's a real story, and people can really relate to that.
Yes, they can.
So, yeah, that's awesome. So, do you have any current projects in the making?
Oh, yes. Right now we're working with a young lady out of Walton, Kentucky.
Okay.
She's 16 years old. Her name is Callista, and Callista just recorded her album in Nashville, which, of course, Spotlight Records took care of that for her. And we're really excited. We've got an EP of 5 songs right now being released. So it'll be, actually in a couple of weeks, we should have the physical properties.
Oh, we know Callista. We had her on our show recently.
Yes, we remember us taping that.
Yeah.
That's really cool, yeah. She's grown up a lot since then. I think she was only 14. She's now 16. And a remarkable difference, of course.
Absolutely.
As she's aging. So I guess you guys are wanting to have her come back. So.
Yes, we're looking forward to having her here and hopefully perform live for us, maybe.
Yes. Oh,
of course, we'll talk to you about that.
Oh, that's good.
Well, I'm really intrigued about this title, Angel Promoter. I mean, tell me what that really means.
Well, it takes a lot of money in this business to do this business. And there's so much in preparation. And what I do is I offer them what we call a 360 deal, which we pay for everything for them. And then once the product comes back, we pay the investment back first. And then after that, we split everything 50-50. Most labels, the big labels are the only ones that will do that. The smaller labels, basically it's the responsibility of the artist to take care of all that. And it's a lot of money. And then they go into debt. And unfortunately, less than 5% succeed at it, make a profit. And this sort of prevents that hardship on the artist, and I believe in that. And it's the key here is putting together a great package and submit it and promote it worldwide. That's what I do, and I've been doing that 30 years.
That's wonderful. That's truly a blessing to the folks that I'm sure that you've helped. Jim, we're going to take a look at some of the music videos and footage of the artists that you've produced in the past and currently.
Oh, that's great. You'll enjoy it.
Thanks.
These are good acts, and it's really exciting to see them grow. From just as an example, Callista's been in development now for 3 years. So you're looking at, she was 13 and getting started, and 3 years later, she's living her dream. She's got a CD out, and we're promoting the music worldwide.
All right, well, let's take a look.
Okay. Hi, this is Jim Bruce, president of the Access Entertainment Group, and we'd like to thank you for your interest in one of our finest entertainers, Brandy Lynn Howard and her band. That's Brandy on my left at the age of 10. Brandy is a singer that loves to perform before large and small crowds. She has performed at hundreds of fairs and festivals, clubs, conventions, private parties, veterans groups, picnics, reunions, and benefits. Here she is performing in Las Vegas, Nevada at the Showboat Hotel. By the age of 12, Brandy had won numerous talent contests, including Loretta Lynn's held at her ranch in Hurricane Mills, Tennessee. In Las Vegas at the age of 14, she won the coveted CMAA's National Awards for Vocalist and Rising Star Female Entertainer of the Year. At the age of 15, the Ohio Country and Western Music Association awarded Brandy the Ohio's Entertainer and Best Female Vocalist of the Year. Brandy has had the privilege of performing on numerous television shows, and in 2003, Brandy's musical talents were featured on NHK-TV in Japan and telecast worldwide. Brandy took a few years off to pursue other interests, but she decided her heart is in her music career, and she has returned to the music scene better than ever. Brandy would love to perform at your event. Please enjoy Brandy and her band's video demo, and if you decide to book this entertaining artist, please contact us as soon as possible.
Wow, those videos were awesome. Welcome back to the Todd Berry Gospel Hour. Again, I'm your host, Judy Dallas, and I'm here with Mr. Jim Bruce from Access Entertainment Group and Spotlight Records. The videos that we just saw, now, did you produce those videos, or tell us about that process?
I have videos. I have videographers from all over the country, depending on the project, the location, and all that involved. And then we have the videos done by different producers. Obviously I've got to review their work, make sure it's good enough, something that we can accept, and all that costs money. One of the first videos we did in Nashville, and it cost $5,000.
Oh my.
Then I went to Canada a couple of years later, and we did another one for $10,000. So it just depends on where you're going and what you're doing. You want a photographer, a videographer to do an excellent job. So, you want to make sure they have that quality that they can produce. And we've been very successful. I've done actually some of them myself. So I worked with Channel 21. I was a producer for their television shows. So I worked a little bit in that, and that helped me as well. So, it's been a real pleasure, though, producing these videos to help promote these artists. It's something you've got to have today.
Absolutely.
YouTube is huge, and we wanted to be a part of that, of course.
Right. Well, we do have a lot of aspiring artists in our viewing area, as well as professional, or I don't know if it's called semi-professional. But my question is, we see a lot of artists on reality TV. Tell us the difference between reality and your reality.
Big difference. My reality is reality plus. What they're doing is great, and it's a great format. And for some artists, it works. Very few, actually, it works, as you can tell. But just all the people that's won and how many actually succeed. There's been a few successes, but there's thousands and thousands of people auditioning for that.
Yeah. And
they come down to the last dozen or so, and then eventually pick a grand champion, if you want to call it that. And that's great, but what are they going to do with it? And what are they going to do with their careers? And is that one song that they very successfully done on that format going to elevate them to the next level? And we're just basically we're doing this. Our goal's the same, and they've got a lot of money behind them, which really makes it nice. And for the artists, I do recommend it, but to understand that that's not for everybody, and it's not going to work for everybody. So I think we're doing it the right way, and I think it's. But both of them are good ways. I don't think you can be wrong on. It's just about getting your music out there and obviously showing your talent. And that's what both ways of doing it is what it's all about.
Yeah, that really makes sense because I know a lot of folks do see what they see on television, have those dreams, but you really need a great team behind you, like your team.
That is, yeah.
And
I'm glad you brought that up. That's probably, other than all the package I was talking about and the talents involved, you've got to have that great team that's going to help you get elevated to the next level.
And so tell us some of the different team members.
Well, you've got to have, and it's huge, and all of it costs money. Nothing's free. You know, everybody who works on a project's getting paid for what they do, and you expect that. But you got to shop around to get the best deals, and this is one of the things that we do is management. But yeah, it's you got to do it. It's all part of the package and getting the artists and their music all over the world today. And
so
the internet makes that possible.
That's what I was just getting ready to say, and it's the internet and make an impact as well.
Yeah, so it's huge. And I was one of the first, obviously. I started in 1989. The internet didn't start till 1991.
Right.
So, matter of fact, when you got on the internet, you tried to sell music, they would blackball you because you're not allowed to, back then, you were not allowed to sell on the internet. That was totally against the rules back then. Now look at it.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember.
So I've been around a while.
Tell us something about the music business that would maybe educate our inspiring or upcoming artists in working their way up into music business.
Well, first you got to believe in yourself, and you got to be dedicated, and you got to be persistent. Because if you don't have those elements, you're not going to get anywhere. Make a video. Today is make a video. And you've heard of successes on the internet where they made a video and they put it on them just strumming a guitar and singing. If you're special, different means a lot, you've got a chance. And you want to obviously take any advantage that you can. And that's a great advantage today. The internet is huge, and there's literally thousands, if not tens of thousands, of ways of promoting your music on the internet.
Got it.
Different websites, my gosh. And today, all the tools that you need, to be honest with you, is on the internet.
Okay.
Yeah, you can use YouTube, you know, to do, and a lot of this stuff you can do yourself, and it doesn't cost money. But without that management to help you make the right decisions to go from one level to the next, making sure that you have everything in place and you're going to grow with that, with what your talent you're trying to elevate. But that's where management comes in. And a good manager can do that for you. And I've been very fortunate to be around 30 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, here at the Todd Berry Gospel Hour, many of our viewers are Christian artists.
Cool.
Can you tell us, is the process any different for Christian artists?
No,
or
it's
is
not.
it the audience? Or?
It's really, there is an advantage, I think, because it's obviously faith driven, and if you believe in your faith and you believe in what you're doing, you put them all together, and then you've got you can showcase yourself to the churches and to the religions of the world. There's no reason you can't succeed, no matter what it is. You know, it's all about belief. It really is. I'm glad you brought that up because it's a huge part of this business.
Yeah. So again, your companies are Spotlight Records and Access Entertainment Group. What is the difference between the two companies?
Okay, I started out with Access Entertainment Group, and that's because when I first got in this business, I wanted to learn from the ground up. In order to do that, I knew the act that I was working with back then, 1989. It's been a few years. I knew they had to go to work. They were a talent that I liked. I thought they were a talent that good enough that they could get hired and play the different gigs in the area, but they needed somebody to book them. So that's how I got started in the business. Access Entertainment Group was the reason, I guess, or the purpose, or what we needed in order to get to that next level, which was songwriting, if they had that ability, and record an album. Now, Spotlight Records came about in 1995. I started that several years later. And I knew that the artists that I was working with, if they didn't have a record deal, and that's one thing I told them, I said, first of all, you don't have to use Spotlight Records, but you do need a record deal. That's coming from the manager. And I suggested that to one of my artists at the time, and that's how Spotlight Records came about. We went ahead and recorded them in Nashville and released it worldwide. So it's pretty successful. Yeah, and that's how it started back then.
Wow,
So
it's
been a while.
really funny because you keep using the terms record deal.
Right.
And of course, we who came from the 1900s had records.
Right, right, exactly. Yeah,
So now are there records or is it just digital? Like, what is music
there's
now?
still records around, and
Okay.
vinyl ones as well. Of course, CDs changed everything when CDs came out. But now it's USB. They're not even, the cars don't have CD players no more. They're USB.
Okay.
Okay, so instead of putting them on CDs, they're just putting them on USBs.
Wow.
All your music, I mean, literally, you can put anything you want on there.
Right.
That's the new way of doing things. And this stuff changes all the time. So it's a matter of knowing what to do and making sure, whatever it is, you get your music played and get it out to the world.
Wow. Well, again, this is Todd Berry Gospel Hour, and this is Jim Bruce from Access Entertainment Group and Spotlight Records. I do have another question. What is your most memorable artist, or what was the situation?
Wow, boy, that goes back. We've had a lot of great talent. I can tell you right now, probably Brandy Lynn Howard's thing was when we went to Las Vegas.
Okay.
And she performed there, and she was very fortunate. She had won 3 or 4 awards on that particular trip, and it was the same award that Leanne Rimes won a couple of years before that. So it was pretty exciting, and she was only 12 years old at the time.
Oh, my.
Yeah. So that was really great. Debbie Collins, my gosh, we had so many things going. Like I said, I worked with both those young ladies for 7 years each. So, and one overlapped the other one. So I was working with 2 artists at one time, which is really, really tough. It takes a lot of hours to work with an artist. Yeah, Debbie was all over the country. For 4 years, she traveled literally all over the United States. So that was the big thing there, obviously. We did a video in Canada. Matter of fact, it was the day that Princess Diana died. Remember that? We were actually up there shooting it that day in Canada. But it was an exciting time for us. Obviously, the nation was in mourning as well as the rest of the world. Yeah, we did a video while we was up there in Toronto, Ontario. And that was a fantastic time, and she got booked on the local television show there as well. And of course, she was played on the radio all over Canada as well. So that was pretty fun. Todd Berry came along, and Todd and I think the biggest thing that we had the first time I think he heard himself on the radio was we did a show up near Toledo. I can't remember the town. Defiance, Ohio.
Okay.
At the county fair. And he and Brandy were a part of that show. While they were going up to the show, their songs came on the air. So that was pretty exciting. They loved that. And me too, of course. You know, the more radio stations you get on, the better. And you want to do that. Start with the basic radio stations and work your way up to the bigger stations. If you're played on the lower level and they like it, then you can get up to the bigger levels with the bigger markets. So that's another goal that you should have. Once that video's done and your recording's done and you got your team in place to help market and publicity, you got to have all that in one package to really promote yourself.
And that's what you do in your artist development.
Yep.
And I can just tell, you know, the vibe that I'm getting from you is
Right.
that you are really proud of the work that you do
Yes.
and the folks that you promote and the folks that you work with. It just exudes that energy from you, and I can understand why they call you an angel promoter and talk about you making dreams come true. So, Jim, if one of our inspired artists want to work with you, tell us about the criteria, and also how do they contact you?
Well, obviously the internet, we're there, we've been there for a long time. AccessEntertainmentGroups.com is our website. Our telephone number is 614-599-5298 to help you.
Okay, so tell us the website and phone number one more time. I know it's on the screen, but just in case.
AccessEntertainmentGroups.com, AccessEntertainmentGroups.com, 614-599-5298. Thank you.
Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was Jim Bruce of Access Entertainment Groups and Spotlight Records. And if you want to contact them to get more information, the web address is on the screen. Again, this is the Todd Berry Gospel Hour. I'm your host, Judy Dallas, and be blessed.